Welcome Pisces, to your Saturn Sextile Pluto deep dive video for the ascendant, the sun or the moon. For the first time in 13 years, Saturn and Pluto are stationed at 60 degrees, one of astrology's most enabling angles, the sextile. But what would it mean for you personally, Pisces? I'm going to unpack this, so by the end of the video, you'll have a clearer idea in terms of your energy, work, relationships, and finance. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. So last May the 25th, Saturn, the planet very much to do with structures, time, and karma, moved into the sign of Aries for 3 months and a week. You may have encountered some slowing down around your income during that period through to the 1st of September. But Saturn and Pluto were sextiling. It just wasn't exact. Now, on the 14th of February, Saturn returned to the sign of Aries, left your sign, and by the end of that month was within 3 degrees, forging the sextile again, which will go on within the 3 degrees through to the end of April. It's a big moment if we go back to January 2020. Through the COVID period, Saturn was in an exact conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn, and we know that was a particularly harsh and difficult time. So what can you expect? Well, first of all, let's think about the archetypes of the two players. So Pluto for you, full time since November 2024, has been in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house and Pluto is rather a good mix because Pluto certainly has the ability to get in or help us get in touch with what's deep and out of sight. So it's a very psychological transition. The host, very much about community, but it can be about detachment. And of course, it can be about future technology. But for you, Pluto's in a very psychological area. But remember, Pluto can also be about money too, as much as it can be about power. Now, Saturn in that second house for you, in the sign of Aries, it's not a great fit. It's in its four, not its best location at all, because Aries energy is about initiation, thrust, and using the potency of the ruler Mars to get things moving at speed. So Saturn here can create broadly some frustration and resistance around your sense of self-worth, your values, your life foundations, but your everyday money over the next 2 years through to the end of April 2028 when it moves full-time into Taurus. However, because of the alliance between them, one of the things that I think you're going to notice at this time is an opportunity to reuse old skills, experience, and knowledge, but in a fresh context now. Because the foundational aspects of the second house for you can be about the money, but Pluto here can also be about money. But those old talents or connections that you had can come back to you, because one of the things that's really important to remember for all Pisces people is you are essentially the sum of all the different zodiac signs. So by the time the sun gets to you, the experiences that he's had in that journey through the sky, mythologically wise, are huge, but you are probably one of the most unique zodiac signs because although Pisces people are often characterized as being very dreamy, woolly, very emotional, I actually don't think that's great. I think what Pisces people are is can be hugely invested in whatever is occupying them at that time. Now, it can be that Pisces people are tremendously generous with time and energy to support those who are less fortunate. That is a given. But also, Pisces people can spin out and be quite cool and detached if they don't feel appreciated. So I think what Pluto can do here is just make you more conscious because of its detachment in Aquarius, that cooler side of your nature. You may have heard this from me before, but imagine the Anglers on the bridge, is trying to get the trout at the bottom of the stream, got the hook in the water with the bait, But the fish has seen it all before, the 12th zodiac sign. Gives a beady eye to the angler. I'm not going to take that bait because I know there's a hook on there. I've been snared before, but chucked back in. Uh, and therefore, in that cold water, can observe the fisherman in quite a detached way. So this is really the type of energy that you can use. You can see what's going on. We're going through a technological change which we've never ever seen before. And it is challenging and it is going to have an impact on us. But I think this tells you that whatever new solution, software, or gizmo is reaching the market or being used at work, your appreciation of human nature, motivation, but also understanding that you can both be detached, but also very generous in terms of your energy where it suits, suggests that you can cope better than you might think you can. And all that Saturn's asking you to do is not get too frustrated if there is a slowdown in an old income stream, because to be honest, it's almost standard. Whenever Saturn's in the second or eighth houses, it generally tends to do that. But what we've also got is your modern aquatic ruler very close to Saturn. And so, as much as we saw initially very abrasive approaches to control Saturn in Aries on the political stage, Neptune is beginning to push back on that. And Neptune is a very powerful planet indeed. So this brings passion and it brings idealism to the mix. And that's something you have an appreciation of as well. So don't underestimate how you're observing all of this, but also how you can make it work for you. And crucially, in terms of money, Venus is in the second house in a conjunction with Chiron and is saying to you, if you feel good about your sense of self-worth, that's going to help you to attract the money you need more than if you don't. So if there is something around your sense of self, identity, Aries, Pluto in that 12th house is asking you to dig deep, to let go of whatever judgment you're holding on to or any self-limiting thinking or attitudes, because they will hold you back. But on top of that, Pisces, you also have Mercury now direct, still very close to that mystical link to the North Node, but it's Mars, which is going to be stepping forwards as this week goes on, forging a tremendous sextile itself with Uranus. So some of your ideas, which may have just been treading water frustratingly since the start of February, the 6th, Mercury is not a great fit for Pisces, to be honest. It's great for writing poetry, lyrics, being an artist. It's not so great for functional things. But those two guys are linking with your ruler Jupiter in a wonderful trine. So if you're someone who's got individual ideas, you're tuning into your instincts, Pluto, you're being guided by your old experiences, knowledge, and skills, you can apply them in quite a thrusting way, but in also a very sensible way with a sensible set of expectations about what your return can be. So there's a lot to like on the exact moment that they're in sextile. So to summarize, I'm going to go through those four areas of energy: work, finance, and relationships. But I'd just like to say, have you watched your deep dive video for April? It's on the screen now. Please do so. And if you yet to sign up for your free daily horoscope, fired to your device each morning, get your cosmic pit stop each day, please see below for more. And if you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it would be an absolute pleasure. Please see my testimonials. If you'd like to order your personal charts, slash the price. We know it's tough out there financially, so it's half price at the moment, and you can order below, totally unique for each person they're produced for. So to summarize, I think your physical vitality can be good. I do think you need to be careful around what the amount of sugar or calorific goodies, one of my old favorites, over the next couple of years. But I think on this event, your energy could be surprisingly good. And if you are doing something that's more daring and innovative, Uranus is going to help you to birth that. But it is true that financially, there may be something you used to do which isn't assured to give you the same amount of income. But I feel that you can be, the fifth house can be about speculation. I think you can show the get-go to actually get on the front foot and just show people how absolutely brilliant you can be. When it comes to, pardon me, vitality, well, Pluto in the 12th house is very potent in terms of the psychological domain. And if you recall, when we had Pluto and Saturn together through the COVID situation, for you, that was in your sector of friendship and future plans in January 20. And if you think back to what happened then, that was about your future, your connections, your network. This is much more to do with getting in touch with your deeper motivations. So your energy can be affected by your emotions a lot more, can be affected by the wrong kind of diet. Keep it simple and keep it natural where possible. But I feel that in terms of your love life, Jupiter in the fifth and Mars and Mercury in the first are kind of saying to you, if you're attracted to someone because you like their values as much as you like how they look, that's a great move. It's been a pleasure being with you, Pisces. All the best. Take care and goodbye.